47-yard run.
Hey, welcome back, Roadrunners. Christmas edition on my take of the Frisco Bowl. Rowdy over my shoulder there, a little tired. It's been a long season, particularly long for someone like me that has to drive in for the games. So there's not a single home game unless we play Houston or Rice, right? So everything requires a 3-hour drive for me. So it's been a long season. And frankly, I don't want to say I'm happy it's over, but it's kind of like a relief it's over. Enjoyed the entire season, but that's not what this video is about. The Lit Medallion's here to tell you what he thinks about the bowl game. First and foremost, what comes to my mind is discipline. All the unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. Come on, man. The unnecessary roughness. I mean, the late hit. At one drive, we were still in the game, and I believe we gave them 55 yards if you count kicking the ball out of bounds on that drive. I could be wrong. I think it was 3 15-yard penalties. Now, it doesn't add up that way because obviously it's like half the distance at one time. So it's not a strict 55 yards, but 55 yards of strict penalties, and that was disappointing to see because they were moving any chance of overcoming, right? And I think that there was some frustration on their part knowing that they were 22 players down or 25 players down, and that's hard enough to overcome, right? So you have to understand, but it's just a bummer to see the Roadrunners, who have been pretty decently disciplined. Yeah, we've had some personal fouls. All teams get personal fouls, right? To see that really play a part in the game, and specifically that one drive in the third quarter. The other thing, heard the field was wet, but man, our guys were slipping everywhere. We'd have edge pressure and feet would just come right off from underneath the defensive end, and made an easy escape for the quarterback. And many of those that you don't see on TV, and when you're live at the game, there were a couple of those mid-range passes that were in between defenses. Our guy's on his backside because he slipped, and when he's trying to stop and cut and come back to the ball, he slipped. And both of Frank Harris's sacks, his right foot slipped off from underneath him. And I don't know. I know there was a time where you could mess with the length of the cleat by unscrewing them and screwing them back in, but definitely didn't have the right cleat length, if there is such a thing. I mean, I'm talking real old school. I mean, it was natural grass, and we were the only one really slipping, really bad. I mean, it affected our offense. It affected our defense dramatically, right? And so it kind of sucked that we didn't make that adjustment. From a equipment standpoint, I would have liked to have seen them come out with new cleats. Maybe the team doesn't have it. Chances are we don't, right? We're lucky to have 2 sets of helmets, 3 pairs of jerseys, and some dirty laundry. So maybe that's part of it. The other big thing, and I've said this all season long, never ignore in victory what you won't ignore in defeat. 4th down, 4th and short. Why is the offensive coordinator, the word is hubris. Look it up. The word is hubris for continuing to run on 4th and 1 a single back look. At least run a read option for Frank to where he can hand it and come outside and try to get it with his legs. You know what I mean? Every time they've got us in the backfield. All season long. UNLV stopped us twice. UAB stopped us. Western Kentucky stopped us. Yes, Western Kentucky, no defense, Western Kentucky stopped us on 4th and short. With sincere. So this wasn't a personnel issue. Not at the running back. That was a little, it's just annoying. is what it is. You expect the kids to overcome. Come on, OC, you got to overcome a little bit too, right? You've got to figure this out. You Last year we used Lowell Narcisse on a direct snap. He's quarterback, and we had what would equivalent of a jump pass. Where was Lowell? I mean, maybe he was sick, but he's been with the team at least up in La Tech. I saw him hand the game ball to Coach Traylor's mom because that was her first UTSA game, and so it's annoying. It's annoying. That's what it is. It's like Lane Kiffin being yelled at by Nick Saban, run the ball. Run the ball. When you have guys like Derrick Henry, right? But he's trying to throw the ball around. Give your personnel a chance to be successful is all I'm saying. Now, with that being said, I had very little issues with the play calling overall. What I was a little disappointed with everything going wide, but that's been us, right? Throw it wide. Would have liked to have seen Cardenas and Dishman over the middle a little bit more, and maybe even DeCorian Clark over the middle. Boy, he made a great catch, didn't he? Man, DeCorian made a great catch. Our wide receivers balled out. I mean, we dropped a couple passes. We had to be perfect, but we dropped a couple passes that could have, helped us make the complexion of the game a little different. But besides those small drops, I mean, I don't know how many they dropped, but it didn't feel like that many, right? I think we would have seen a different game, but they balled out. Those kids, when they elevate, especially Zakari, when he goes up after a ball, man, we're lucky to have him. And hopefully he doesn't enter the transfer portal, because he can still do it. Hopefully he doesn't. Something tells me that if he wanted to enter the transfer portal, he would have done it before the bowl game. But who knows? But if he were, he'd go make NIL money anywhere else. He's got top end speed. He can run routes, and he can elevate for passes. I mean, he's just a fantastic ball player. I think Frank played a pretty darn good game. I'm not going to say a great game, but a pretty darn good game. He needs to run more, plain and simple. He just needs to run more. I don't know if he's still nursing a hamstring or whatever, but he just needs to run more. Even if it's for 3 yards, just run more. Because his threat of just one cut, right, make a move and get 25 yards is because of how smooth he runs, is always there. I apologize. I came home, started feeling terrible on the 23rd, evening of the 23rd, and I'm fighting something. So here's my other impression of the game. So I go to the tailgate feeling great. Free beer, free food. Well, I paid for it, right? Got me some barbecue, got me some potato salad, got me some beans, right? Got me a couple Modelo's, that kind of fun stuff. And walk into the stadium, bring out my app, scan both my tickets. And it's just me. I get to the seat and I go, okay, I need I find out where my seats are, and I said, I need something to drink. I need something warm to warm me up. It was freaking cold. Reach for my back pocket, left. My wallet in the room. Yep. So for 4 quarters, as cold as it was, I had nothing to quench my thirst, nothing to warm me up, and man, I was freezing. I was bouncing up and down on my toes trying to get the blood flowing, and it just wasn't working. I mean, I had a vest on, I had a sweat jacket on, I had a shirt underneath, and I thought that would be enough. And nope, that slight wind was cutting through. So yeah, I was miserable. The other thing about the game, I was on the 29th row. I think there's 28 or 29 total rows or 30 total rows. Hey, you're really far away from the field because it's not a football stadium. It's not an American football stadium. And I said it. This is my second time going up there. Never patronizing that bowl game ever again. If it's in a soccer stadium, they can have it. They can have it. Let y'all go. I wish you support. I might buy one ticket, but I'll never step foot in it. So, the other thing that really boggled my mind, out of our own end zone, why we rugby punted. The wind was to our back. If Lucas gets a hold of one, he's already kicked 172 in the Alamo Dome with no wind. And the wind was to his back. All he had to do was get it up over the awning. And trust me, the awning isn't that high, right? Because the way they do the seats, it's like a bowl, and it's a really flat bowl. That makes it even worse. So it's not like you come in and you got to worry about stepping down. I mean, it's like riding an escalator getting down. The steps are so wide. So that was really mind-boggling. Really mind-boggling. But you know what? When he needed to pin him in the corner, he did a really good kick. Got that little kick the toe of the football and got that in there, pin him inside the 10. That was a really good on the out of bounds. So that's, I don't know. I would have let him rip it. Because they got the ball on the R45 with Lucas Dean. That should never happen. Never. I would worry about a blocked punt before I worry about giving the other team 15 yards for a field goal try. That was dumb. That was a dumb decision in my opinion, because the field was wet. If the field's wet, what's that ball going to do? On a rugby style, it ain't going to bounce. I don't know. That was one thing that just really boggled my mind. I felt the offensive line did really well. I think that as the game went on, you could tell got a little tired. Our defensive line got a little tired, and that's when we just couldn't really get any pressure whatsoever on the QB for San Diego State. So we'll take the win. We'll take the losses. We just enjoy being a Roadrunner fan, right? Thank goodness we'll be out of Conference USA. I don't know who the officiating crew was, but if they were Conference USA officials, they definitely went out of their way to make sure they weren't showing any favoritism for the Roadrunners, because I've never seen one team where the player's helmet is ripped off during a scuffle and you call both players for unsportsmanlike. What? No, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. I know you want to keep control of it, but you keep control of it when you penalize one team or the other. And our guy had to leave the field. That's the weirdest thing. It's like they were, the officials were terrible. Anyway, peace out, Roadrunners. Merry Christmas, and I'll see y'all in 2022.